Alexander Usyk would absolutely butcher Muhammad Ali. Now, I have been in so many comment sections saying this for quite some time. And as well, I saw a post. I'll be honest, the main reason I'm doing this video is because I saw a post that was talking about who would win in a fight, Prime versus Prime, Muhammad Ali or Alexander Usyk. I'm here to tell you right now, Alexander Usyk would butcher Muhammad Ali very easily. Now we can get onto the stats and to the people that they've lost to. We can go onto their records and speak about that. And that's what absolutely I'm going to do right now. And I'll have it on screen for you right now. We're going to go on to the early portions of their career. Of course, every boxer has a padded record. We'll hit into it. Muhammad Ali, I think his first fight, if I'm not wrong, I might be scrolling this incorrectly, but I'm not going to pronounce some of these names. Muhammad Ali's early career was not against bums, and that I'll give it to him. They're not bums. He went up against a guy that was 17-9-1. Okay, for the 1990s or the 1960s, I guess, they're not the worst. There's still people that are still putting their hands up, you know, classic boxing style, holding their hands up and scrolling them back and forth, like if this is Mortal Kombat. And of course, Muhammad Ali beats him. He beats him all the way through. He literally actually destroys him up until he gets into competition. And this is where I'm going to speak about his competition, that maybe they're not as good as we think. Of course, we have Archie Moreau. He has 185 wins, 22 losses, and 10 draws. Now, of course, back in the old era of boxing, they can fight as often as they want. Of course, we get that, okay? I will give that to them. They fought very often, but their levels of competition is a bit concerning. Now we head on to his later half of the career, more in his prime, and as well when he's exiting his prime. Of course, he had the fight with Joe Frazier. I believe the trilogy, if I'm not mistaken, where he loses his first fight to Joe Frazier, or his second fight to Joe Frazier. And of course, with this one, I won't knock his career at all for that, because Joe Frazier is a good boxer. For that era, he was one of the best. In that era, it was Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier. I can't remember everyone else on the top of my head, but overall, those are the people that are there. Now, of course, we have Joe Frazier, who he's beaten. Joe Frazier is a great opponent. George Foreman, that's a ballsy move. You stepped up to fight George Foreman. Now, if we can go into it stylistically, I literally explain you why Usyk would destroy Muhammad Ali, but we will continue with the records, because what I will tell you is the George Foreman fight did expose Muhammad Ali. Now we go on to more of his career, and this is where we head into a big one right here. We're right here on February, not sure what date, 1978. He has a loss. Now keep in mind, Muhammad Ali was possibly, I might be wrong, 54-3, around there. He is very experienced. Now, he lost to a guy named Leon Spinks. Who is Leon Spinks? Well, at the time when they fought, Leon Spinks was 6-0-1. Now, Leon Spinks, go ahead onto his record total on who he fought, because, you know, there's going to be the excuse of, well, Leon Spinks, you know, he's a bit of a legend, man. I don't think he's a bit of a legend if a guy that Muhammad Ali lost to is 26-17 losses and 3 draws. I don't know if that is a good look if you're the, quote, greatest of all time. As well, forgot to mention this early in the video, no disrespect to Muhammad Ali, this is just a debate. But we'll get on to Leon Spinks' record. This is where I now question Muhammad Ali's legacy due to this. Leon Spinks lost 17 times and beat Muhammad Ali. And the people he's lost to was Rocky I can't even pronounce that. Sakrowski, Jose Rablit. Oh my god, I'm not gonna even bother. And the guy he beat was Jeff Jordan, 17-6. He lost to right after that was Angelo and he was 18-0. And then the guy he drew was against Jim Ashard, that was 6-5, and he went to a draw with him. He didn't lose to him. He went to a draw with him. And then he loses to Terry Mims, that is 13-15, basically a journeyman in today's standards, and lost to him. Then he went on a 4-fight losing streak. He loses to another guy that's 19-6. He loses to another guy that's 32-7. There's another guy that's 15-6. You can say, hey, that's not too bad. But then he beats a guy that's 25-25. And then he beats a guy that's 6-17. And then he beats a guy that's 13-14. And then he beats a guy that's 8-28. And then he beats a guy that's 1-8. And then he loses to a guy that's 13-8. He was clearly padding his record later on in his career, I guess, because I don't know if you're padding your record if you're losing against guys that are 13-15. Now, we'll get back to Muhammad Ali's record. He loses to Leon Spinks. He rematches him and he beats him. You redeemed your loss, but no matter what, that will tarnish your legacy. He loses to Larry Holmes. Of course, Larry Holmes is where this was the tail end of his career. Larry Holmes, of course, nowadays is looked at a bit highly, everything like that. He was 35-0 when Muhammad Ali lost to him. That is okay, you were old in that I guess. But as well, he was also manipulated as well, Muhammad Ali. To give you a bit of a history lesson, he basically was on the brink of retiring, I believe, when he wasn't going to fight Larry Holmes. He was going to retire. But he was manipulated by the public, basically saying that, man, Muhammad Ali's not the greatest, man. It's going to be Leon Spinks and it's going to be Larry Holmes, man. They're the greatest of all time. And then Muhammad Ali comes out of retirement due to, of course, an ego. And he goes over, fights Larry Holmes, loses. That affects your legacy. I don't want to hear it. But Larry Holmes is a good name, so I won't knock him too bad for it, although it still affects your legacy, because at the time he did lose to him, he was, I believe, still starting out his career. But on the box rec I'm looking at right now, he's 35-0, but at the time he lost to him when he was on his come up. Then he loses to a guy named Trevor Berbick. What? Answer me this. Who is Trevor Berbick? Well, Trevor Berbick is 49-11. And we don't hear anyone. You could be like, oh, no, he has a winning record, though. You can't tell me he has a winning record and all this kind of stuff when he's not even close to even being a Hall of Famer or even a legend. But of course, I could be being told a casual. Sure. He loses to good competition, but then he loses to a guy named Tony La Rosa. That is 31-16. Man, I think I'm gonna say it. I think the old generation boxers are a bit overrated. Now that I'm looking at the records, they're losing to guys with losing records, and then they're beating guys with either decent records or just losing records, and then nobody even knows who they are. They're beating milkmen and plumbers. Well, let's get to Alexander Usyk on the guys he's beaten and why I think he would absolutely butcher Muhammad Ali. Prime versus prime. Alexander Usyk, of course, starting off his career, he's beaten basically just plumbers and cab drivers, but not necessarily if we're going to look at it by record, because I know some people are going to be like, well, Muhammad Ali fought people, lost to people with good records, okay, sure, and beat people with good records, okay, sure, then. So then basically Felipe Romero was 16-7. He beat, I can't pronounce this guy's name, but Mendoza, 34-15, 15-9. I'll just name by the records. He beat another guy that was 21-8, 24-5, 19-6, 11-1, 19-4, 22-1, 26-0, 17-2, 12-0. Then be like, oh, but those are plumbers and milkmen. Well, Muhammad Ali lost to plumbers and milkmen. Trevor and Leon Spinks are nobodies. Leon Spinks is not even spoken as a legend. There's Michael Spinks, I think, that Mike Tyson fought. But Leon Spinks is not a legend. He is probably a plumber. And Muhammad Ali lost to him. And yes, he was on his early bit of the career, and you can say Muhammad Ali was slowing down, getting old. Well, once again, he was on his ego, and everyone kept telling him, well, you guys, if you're going to be the greatest of all time, you got to go fight this guy, man. And he does it. That's his fault. He's affecting his own legacy by doing this. Now let's get to Alexander Usyk. Why he's the GOAT of the sport, and I don't want to hear anyone talk about it. And he's pound for pound number 1. Probably right now I'll say Inoue because he saved us from a shitty boxing weekend. But he beat Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew is a great win. Massive win. That was, I think, in cruiserweight. He became undisputed in cruiserweight. Oh, there's a screenshot I literally have on me. I don't know if I can show it on screen. But there's a screenshot of a guy in the comment that was basically listing every single one of Alexander Usyk's accomplishments. That he 2-time gold medalist, if I'm not wrong, or 1-time gold medalist. Then he went in to become undisputed in the first weight class. I might be missing a couple of more things, but I'll put him on screen if I can find the comment. He became undisputed in 2 weight classes, cruiserweight and heavyweight. You could say, well, yeah, he was undisputed, didn't have the 4-belt era. Sure, okay, I'll give it to you. But then Usyk beats Derek Chisora at heavyweight. You had Derek Chisora's washed, man. Derek Chisora before was not washed. He was exiting his prime. He was still in his prime, just exiting. And then, of course, oh my god, you actually just cannot take the wins away. I don't want to hear about it. But then he beats Anthony Joshua twice. Anthony Joshua would absolutely destroy Leon Spinks, and he would destroy a lot of the guys that Muhammad Ali lost to. Alexander Usyk toys with him twice, beats him twice. The first time was easy, and the second time was a little bit more difficult, but he still beats him. Then he goes over to fight Daniel Dubois, who's going to be fighting for the rematch very soon. Destroys him somewhat, because everyone wants to point out, well, the low blow was there. Okay, but you did hit him low, but once again, alright. But Daniel Dubois would beat Leon Spinks. Then he beats Tyson Fury, which was number 2 right now. Number 2 best heavyweight right now in the era. At the moment, up until, let's see what... But he beats Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury would once again destroy Leon Spinks and Larry Klitschko as well. As Klitschko was as well at the time dominant. And Tyson Fury beats him. Okay. Then he destroys Tyson Fury in the rematch very easily. And Usyk beat him literally... I don't even remember what was the scorecard. It was a disgusting scorecard. Usyk destroyed him in the rematch. The first fight was closer than the rematch. And then right now he's going to fight Daniel Dubois for the rematch because he just cleared out the heavyweight division while Muhammad Ali was losing to Leon Spinks and Trevor. But alright, but let's head into stylistically why I think Muhammad Ali would lose the fight. Now, another I guess hot take I could say, and you could clown me for it, but I think Muhammad Ali's footwork, his footwork was overrated. Why I say that? Well, look, once again, look at the George Foreman fight. George Foreman is a great win, and rest in pieces to George Foreman. But George Foreman, watch that fight back. George cut the ring off very quickly, and Muhammad Ali had nothing to do about it. Muhammad Ali kept backing himself into the corners and getting pieced up. You can watch the fight. He was going around, circling George Foreman, circling him around while George Foreman was chasing him around. Muhammad Ali then corners him. Literally could have gotten out of it with modern day footwork. That's why I say Alexander Usyk beats Muhammad Ali, because of modern day skill. Muhammad Ali would not compete with one boxer in this era. I don't want to hear it. He wouldn't beat Anthony Joshua. He wouldn't beat Tyson Fury. He wouldn't beat Daniel Dubois. He wouldn't beat Tony Bellew. He would struggle with Derek Chisora. And then stylistically as well, Muhammad Ali was a good volume puncher. He had great speed, very great speed. He basically swung like a middleweight. He was very fast, and he had great footwork, very fast. But as well, his footwork at his time was better than anyone. But nowadays, he would get butchered. And then the fact that he got cornered by George Foreman very easily. Imagine if Alexander Usyk cuts the distance off and does that. That's basically what he did to Tyson Fury. He cornered him almost like 3 times in the first fight, and in the first round as well. It was in the first round he cornered him and then pieces him up in the corner right when Fury was about to do his celebration. He was holding onto the ropes, and then Usyk just goes in there and pieces him up. Does that the same thing in the second fight. Does that thing twice in the second fight. And imagine what happened to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali would be fast, but then he gasses out. Once again, watch the George Foreman fight. He looked fast and he gassed out, and he was just cornering himself. He literally could have gotten out so many bad positions he was in with George Foreman. He just, traps himself in the corner and just holds on for dear life. Oh my god, just imagine the nasty stuff that Alexander Usyk would do to Muhammad Ali. And then, not to even... not to even say that, but Muhammad Ali looks like a pipsqueak. He looks like a pipsqueak. While Alexander Usyk is built of muscle, big amount of muscle. He looks jacked. He looks big. He looks ready. He looks ripped. While Muhammad Ali looks like he just looked like he ate a bit of Sweetie Little Treaties, a bit of some Sour Patch Kids, and then probably ate a bit of some beef right after, and that was really it. And maybe a whole grain of grits, and that was it. Shout out to Lucas Tracy. But he basically, like, that was what he was eating, because overall it does not look like Muhammad Ali would stand a chance. His footwork would be absolutely embarrassing compared to Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk would close him down and butcher him, while Muhammad Ali's gonna barely start to land the jab. And then the way how Muhammad Ali punches too is like a bit looping. It's a bit looping the way how he punches as well to the body. Like, he had this one combination where he goes body head, body head, body head. It is the silliest thing I've ever seen. I could really do that with a heavy bag. Come on now. While Alexander Usyk is going up against better opponents of opposition, Tyson Fury, when he in the second fight, was massive, and one shot would literally KO you. Although, to be fair, and I'll be fair, I do think Muhammad Ali would have beaten the Tyson Fury that fought in the second fight, because Tyson Fury was completely slow, and I think Muhammad Ali had average footwork to be able to circle Tyson Fury at bay, jab him up, land a couple of combinations, and get out. But that's another thing as well. Muhammad Ali would come in and get out, but at the moment he would get out, when the opponent, like George Foreman, once again, watch back that fight, he comes in, gets out from George Foreman then tries to close him down, he gets himself cornered. While when the same thing, Alexander Usyk did that to a Tyson Fury, he ended up as well doing the same thing, getting in combinations, getting back out, circling him, immediately circling him, and then having great footwork and getting out of corners. He never got once in the corner with Tyson Fury, not one time, while Muhammad Ali was getting in corners with George Foreman. Big whoop. Wow. That basically, whoa. Wow, man. Muhammad Ali beats Alexander Usyk because Muhammad Ali corners himself. The fact that Muhammad Ali would even corner himself against Alexander Usyk he would actually get lit up. Well, here's what exactly would happen. The first round started off with a bit of jabs. Alexander Usyk would literally be level changing, going up and low, up and low, up and low, going top to the body shot, head body shot, head body shot, head body shot. Well, Muhammad Ali's gonna be struggling trying to do that and trying to parry shots, maybe block every now and again. But once again, he's built like a bit of a flappy boy. And Alexander Usyk would basically just jab him up, going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then eventually, he's gonna not know what to do. He's gonna do what he does best with the George Foreman fight, corner himself against the ring, and basically put himself in a corner. And then Alexander Usyk is gonna tear to him everywhere, tear to him to the body. And if, let's say, Muhammad Ali is too fast for him, Alexander Usyk would cut down his body and slow him down. And you can't even pretend that Muhammad Ali wouldn't even gas out. He would absolutely gas out. And then when he's slowing down, Alexander Usyk is going to put more pressure on him, more pressure than Muhammad Ali has ever felt in his life. He's going to try to jab up Alexander Usyk. He's going to get clipped with the left hand. And then when he's clipped with the left hand, because Muhammad Ali wasn't really known for having that much amount of power, he was more of a volume puncher, not really a power puncher, he was more of a volume puncher. Same thing could be said with Alexander Usyk. He's a bit of a volume puncher as well. But nowadays, I would say Alexander Usyk has a bit of power in his left hand because he now relies on it every more often now. In the first fight of Tyson Fury, he was a volume puncher until when he hurt Tyson Fury, he then started to realize that left hand of his has more power than he would thought, I guess. Because then in the second fight, he holds back on that left hand and he just tries to aim it and just land it. And then he would hurt Tyson Fury every time that left hand would land. So Alexander Usyk clearly now has more power. Imagine him attempting to hike that against Muhammad Ali and just popping him with jabs and then left hands to the body every now and again. Then at that point he would go right hook and then hurt Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was gonna be hurt. He's gonna start wobbling all over the place. He's gonna be wobbling around the ring. And he's gonna put himself in a corner again. Classic Muhammad Ali. Alexander Usyk goes into the corner, pieces him up, and then lands the right hook upstairs. And Muhammad Ali's hurt. He's hurt bad. Alexander Usyk, finish him, Alexander Usyk. Usyk hits him with the big uppercut and big left hook. Oh my God, Muhammad Ali's hurt. He's hurt. We gotta stop the fight. The ref's gonna go in there. He's gonna be like, Muhammad Ali, man, gotta do something, man. Now he's gonna be like, man, I can't do nothing, man. I keep cornering myself. And he's gonna get pieced up. Alexander Usyk's gonna butcher him, and he's gonna drop him. He's gonna be like, whoa, my word, Muhammad Ali was down. And Muhammad Ali's gonna get back up. He's gonna be like, whoa, man, I'm good. And then the rest gonna tell him, man, I don't know, man, you're getting pieced up. And then while everyone's gonna be shitting their pants, acting like they've never seen this before, while I'm literally telling you right now what's going on. Oh my god. And then he would get up, Usyk would then just rush him, put a lot of pressure on him, corner him again, piece him up with jabs, land a devastating left hand across the chin, hurt Muhammad Ali again. Then Muhammad Ali is going to be struggling, attempting the clinch. Once again, Alexander Usyk does as well mixed martial arts. That's another topic for a different day, that boxers should do a second mixed martial arts. They can actually get out of clinches much more easier. Look at the Tyson Fury, the second fight, when Tyson Fury initiates the first clinch. Alexander Usyk does literally some MMA techniques to get out of that. But once again, Muhammad Ali would attempt to clinch and basically hug, because that's what they did back then. Alexander Usyk would literally blade his hand just to push him off and shove him off, and just piece him up, land another left hand, hurt Muhammad Ali badly, and then the ref's just gonna step and stop the fight, and it's gonna be over. And that's basically it. I either rage baited you, even though this was not rage bait at all. I'm actually serious. Alexander Usyk would destroy Muhammad Ali today if they were to fight prime versus prime. The footwork is not even close. The punching power is not even close. The volume is competitive. That's like the only thing he has. And then what does he have after that? Cornering himself against the ring. Watch the George Foreman fight. And yes, you could say maybe I should watch the Joe Frazier fight, because I'll be honest, that's the one fight I do really want to watch, but I keep not watching it. But once again, that's my point. Make your point in the comments if you have any point to say about why Muhammad Ali would beat Alexander Usyk, and maybe we'll do a part 2 in this and debate more.